Hello and welcome to our channel. I'm Danielle.
And I'm Stephanie.
And together we clean homes for free.
Woo!
That was my dash cam turning off, guys. It wasn't a phone notification.
But that was very good timing.
Yep.
So in this house we are doing the kitchen pretty much to completion. And then we start the bedroom and we start the living room. Although the living room was unplanned.
Yeah, I think so. Steph had to go away, so she came for about an hour and then she had to go away prior engagement. And so I just powered on, and to be honest, I powered through this kitchen.
She did.
And by the time Steph came back, I was kind of like, I'm done. My motivational levels were just hitting rock bottom. I was just like, I'm really not feeling it anymore.
Yeah.
And I already knew the bedroom for me, I was just not gonna. I prefer cleaning. Do you know what I mean? And we've always said that I'm more of a cleaner, you're more of a organizer.
I'm a surface cleaner. You're a cleaner.
So then, and the bedroom was pretty small for us to both get in there anyway. And so I was like, do you know what? I could just pick up the rubbish in the living room and clear a space for stuff we needed to move through. And then it just snowballed, and the majority of the living room was rubbish. So even just picking up, and I didn't even pick up all the rubbish, but even just picking up that made such a difference.
So we are going back to this house. However, not soon.
We're not sure when.
Yeah, this house is quite local to us, and so we are keeping it on the list as a cancellation space. So often we'll have cancellations because we haven't received all of the details before the booking, or sometimes people back out at the last minute, which is completely understandable. I mean, there's houses we've been to that they've reached out twice prior before finally accepting help, because it can be very daunting. Sometimes on the day of they're just like, I'm not well, or they're just not mentally prepared for us to go. So we do often get cancellation spaces, and sometimes we're just like, yes, let's just not clean today.
Let's go for lunch.
But also, we're content creators. We do need to produce content. Although today's video is late, and we'll kind of get into the whys of that in a little while. Although if you do follow my other channel, I've kind of explaining that as well. So what happened was Lily had her school visit on this day, which I didn't actually realise until it was too late to do anything about it. So I come in, and I think I only work for about an hour.
Yeah, about an hour.
Maybe not even that long, actually, by the time we spoke to the resident.
You kept pushing it, and I'm like, are you looking at your time? Are you looking at your time?
I wasn't
What time
late.
is it, Steph?
Yeah. So I started on this side of the kitchen while Danielle's on the other side of the kitchen, and then I leave. Danielle finishes the kitchen. When I get back, I start in the bedroom. And like Danielle says, she does the living room. So you do 2 rooms, and I do
one and a half, room. Or just one in total. Sorry for any background noise, guys. We are sitting outside, and it's a bit muggy today, so I put the windows down. I just realised that there's noisy cars and stuff, so I've just put the windows back up.
You've only put one of the windows
back I
up.
just put the one window that was close to the cars.
Okay.
I think I'd suffocate if I had both the windows up.
Yeah,
I feel really clammy, and
it's this weather. It is kind of muggy. I think we're going to get torrential rain again at some point soon.
I just hope it's not thunder and lightning again.
Oh,
not until I'm home.
Yeah. It was thunder and lightning yesterday when Danielle was coming to my house, and she was like, if that hadn't stopped, I wouldn't have come.
Yeah, I would not have been driving in thunder and lightning.
So we had a few questions yesterday about what movies we were watching, because instead of doing the voiceover yesterday, we just sat and watched movies and ate charcuterie stuff, and it was nice. Yeah, it was a nice distraction. So the movies that we watched, because Danielle has seen neither of them, were Centre Stage 2, which is called Centre Stage Turn It Up, and then Burlesque. What was your favourite of the two, Danielle?
Burlesque.
It was good, eh?
I think the storyline for Centre Stage 2 was good, but the acting was terrible.
Yeah.
But
the dancing was good. The storyline was good. The acting was not good.
Yeah. But yeah, Burlesque was probably my favourite.
I've seen both of those movies so many times. They're
I'm gonna go home though and watch Coyote Ugly. Yeah.
What platform are you watching that on?
I'll just type it in on my Fire Stick and whatever it gives me.
Oh yeah, I forgot you could do that.
You can be available to watch here.
Yeah, so because Danielle wanted to watch Coyote Ugly, but it was like £12 or £15 or something to get it on Amazon. So I was like, yeah, let's not do that today. We still ended up paying for the 2 other ones that I picked.
I don't think they were that expensive.
No, they were
like
they
£3.
Yeah, it was this cheaper, much cheaper. Yeah, so this is probably the second last video you guys will see of me with my orange hair. So we did this one. This isn't even the video you guys were meant to see today. I apologise. I actually edited the wrong video, and by the time I realised it was too late.
We both had very high emotional, stressful days yesterday. So, yeah, we just called it quits and we're like, we're not doing anything else. You've edited this video, that's fine. We'll keep it as this video. We're not doing a voiceover. We're going to watch movies instead. And it was actually really enjoyable. I really enjoyed it. And it's Sunday and we're not cleaning, and I think I enjoy that even more.
Yeah, so if anybody that's been with us for a while knows that usually Sunday is our cleaning day. However, Danielle's childcare situation has changed at the moment, and so we're cleaning every second weekend and then once during the week. So that should hopefully help us build up a little bit of back footage, because that's like 3 cleans a fortnight instead of 2. However,
during the summer holidays, we're going to have a problem with that.
Yeah, we're going to struggle during the summer holidays. So the back footage will just cover us for the summer. And also, we technically haven't gotten any back footage yet due to the cancellations that we've had.
Every time we get back footage, it's like we've got bad luck with back footage. Every time we get back footage, something happens and we have to use it.
Yeah.
It's like it's bad luck for us.
So like we didn't clean last Sunday, which was a Sunday we were meant to clean, and it's because we didn't get the address of the client in time. We didn't realise we didn't have the address, and then we didn't hear from her.
I don't think she ever got back to us, did she?
No, I think she is another one who's been on the list for so long. And I think, I think it's just scary for her. So I think if we give her a little bit of time, reach back out, say, you don't worry that we didn't hear from you. Like, you're still on the list. Just, give us your details and
yeah. Because booked in.
Yeah, so we have a priority number from 1 to 5 for the houses that we clean, and the number is based on several different things, including, how big of a job is it, what are the circumstances, and also kind of who referred as well.
Who referred, who's living in the property. Because if there's children living there, we usually put a quite high priority number.
It's one of the reasons it's always important for people to tell us the circumstances. Even if they don't want those circumstances shared, not a problem. We sometimes will say to you the resident didn't want to share their story. That doesn't mean they didn't share it with us. But often, there was a house that we did recently, or that we were going to do. I can't remember. But anyway, and we were like, well, we were unaware of the full circumstances, and if we'd known, we would have gotten to them a lot sooner. So yeah, if you are thinking of reaching out to us, you always tell us the full circumstances. Like I say, we don't need to share it. I
like how you're getting a bit 2-for-1 action here.
Oh yeah, because we can see you in the background. That's a kind of behind the scenes moment, eh? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the priority numbers. So it's 1 to 5, and so the woman who we were supposed to be cleaning for, we have her down as a 5. Just because of the scale of the job, not so much because of the circumstances. So I really do hope that she reaches out to us again. Then we should have a number that's like higher than a 5. That'll be for the actual hoarding situations where we can't just go in and do one visit and then maybe a couple of months later, we can fit you in for a second visit. Like the actual hoarding situations, we do need to have a whole week where we can go in every day.
Yeah, that'll be definitely something that we start. We've got a couple on our list, and it's definitely something we can start doing when Olivia's in full-time childcare, which is September, guys. Yeah. It'll be the end of September by the time it's... Because they do a home visit, and then you do a couple of visits to the nursery, and they start off a couple of half days, and it takes a couple of weeks, she said. But by the end of September, she'll be...
Yeah. And I'll be back at uni, but... a lot of what I do at uni, I can do at home. I just need to make sure I actually do it at home and don't slack off. So when I did this sink, I originally sprayed it... I don't know why I did it this way. I originally sprayed it with multi-purpose spray. I don't know why. I think because we've had such good success with grease with it, but yeah, it wasn't enough. So I gave it an initial wipe and I was like, yeah, why did I do this? Like, do you know what? It's
You were
because
like,
I've
what
not.
do we usually use on sinks?
It's because you've been doing all the sinks recently.
Yeah, I know.
You've been on a sink phase.
It's one of my favourite parts.
But then on this day, you looked in that sink and you were like, nope, I'm not doing this side. So then I did it. But yeah, so after I did the multi-purpose spray, then I just sprayed it down with Fairy Up liquid and it worked perfectly. And yeah, it came clean.
Fairy Up liquid. You did it again.
Oh, Fairy Washing Up liquid. That's
Fairy
correct.
liquid.
Fairy liquid.
Or washing up liquid.
Which for American viewers is the equivalent of your Dawn dish soap. We don't get Dawn dish soap. So yeah, so this wire has some sort of crystallized salt on the end. And I said to Danielle, what are we thinking about this? And she says, maybe that's there to stop people electrocuting themselves. But I think something has just been spilled because it was really like crystallized salt and there had been a bag of salt there. But then also, maybe it's come off of it.
Like, if that's not meant to be on it, was it just bare wire?
Well, I don't know.
Is it a live wire? Because when you're touching it like that and you're rubbing it with the cloth and stuff, I was like, oh. And you get me in trouble for like wiping it
I mean, it was a dry cloth that I was using though initially because I use a dry cloth to get the crud off.
Electrocuted.
Well,
I'm dry.
Yeah, I get that now. But usually these kind of wires are like
they're usually not.
They're
live.
not electrical. Yeah, it's more like for what's it called? Wi-Fi. More like for Wi-Fi. Is that
attached to your modem box?
Yeah, aha. That's it. If you guys can't see what I just saw, but when she said aha, she did like cowboy fingers.
Yeah.
Like the 2 pointers. So yeah, I just basically do this little tiny corner and the windowsill. And then I'm attacked by a giant spider. Danielle saves the day on that one.
It wasn't even giant.
It was giant.
Compared to the one I seen later on in the clean, it was not giant.
Okay, well, a medium spider. But yeah, your side looks way more cluttered than my side.
There was also another spider that I just kind of shut a cupboard on and was like, nope.
Not today, Satan.
Did you see my bananas?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I didn't slow it down. I'm so bad. We show you guys stuff on the camera and then during editing, I'm just like, nope.
She just zims right through it.
Keep it going.
Doesn't even care.
Do you know what? It's because it's so hard to cut it down to the right amount of time. I'm like, how did I used to do it? But then we used to get a lot of comments saying, could you slow it down a little? So I think that's the difference is that, you know, I have the set speeds that we use. And then I just kind of stick with those and it just makes editing more seamless, I think.
So, Steph.
Oh.
What was your favourite part about this clean?
What was my favourite part? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favourite part. I feel like this was a little bit of a disappointing clean for me because we didn't finish.
See, I feel like it was, especially the kitchen, it was the right amount of a mess, but not too messy, and then satisfying result for me.
For the kitchen only.
For the kitchen. But I feel like I was kind of satisfied because I was in and cleaned the kitchen by the time you got back. That was done.
Yeah.
So then when you've started to clean, you never got that like completion feeling, that satisfaction.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why you were disappointed with it. I was quite happy with it, to be honest.
So it's not even so much the kitchen. Like, I think you did a great job in the kitchen. The disappointing thing for me was, first of all, we didn't bring any bedding to the house.
Yes.
We didn't have a complete idea of what the house was like. And because it's local, I thought we can just nip and get stuff, but we just simply didn't have time. Overall, in this house, Danielle was there for about 4 hours and I was there for about 2.5 hours. So I mean, that's what, 6.5 hours spent in this house. So for the time that we spent there and what we did achieve, I think we did amazing.
This was so satisfying for me. Sorry to interrupt, but this was probably my favourite part.
Is it coffee stains? Is that what the brown is?
It's just built up with coffee. Not even stains. It's just like coffee on top of coffee on top of coffee.
So that's why the
she had a
liquid's so
coffee
brown.
machine there, and then she had like a water machine, so she obviously just made her coffee there every day, multiple times a day. But yeah, it took a lot of scrubbing to get up, and it was just so satisfying. And the wipe for me, guys, you know, I like a good wipe.
I think we might need to put the windows up. There's so much background noise. We might just need to pause like halfway and stick the aircon on and then continue like what we did that one time. But I think it was heating that one time because it was freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we on? All right, we're not even that far into it. But yeah, look at that. Oh, you don't really get to see it that well.
Well, you do.
It. Sorry, guys.
You can still kind of see
it. You know what? Just be happy that it was satisfying for me.
Did you get a reel for Instagram with it?
Yes, I did.
I thought I seen you with your phone. Yeah, so this was a really hot day. A really hot day. Do you remember how hot this day was?
And, because I remember in the morning dropping Jacob off and being like, do you have sun cream? Because it's going to be a scorcher. Yeah. And then thinking, why? Every time we clean, is it a beautiful day outside?
Yeah, and you know, guys, it's hard to clean when it's so hot outside, especially if you have to wear a mask.
Especially if you live in Scotland, because really, you only get about 2 weeks this summer if you accumulate all the days of nice sunshine. We miss them all because we clean for these guys.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Just keep telling yourself it's worth it.
Yeah. What she says.
So it was a really hot day, and so when I first go into the house, they've got cats, so I'm wearing a mask, and then I was really glad that I had to go away because it was so difficult to wear that mask. It was literally burning my face. It was it was making me sweat so much that I actually felt like I was burning. I took the mask off. I said to Danielle, do I have like a red face? Like it feels like it's scolded me. So then I come back and I'm just not feeling ready to put the mask on. But there's a bit that comes up and I'll kind of talk about it later. I had to put the mask on after that. I'll talk about it later. You remember
that was probably your least favourite part about the clean?
Yeah, that was my least favourite part during the clean. But then I just wish we'd been able to change her bed in. You guys will see what I mean in a little while. But we are going back. And when we go back, the plan is to finish the living room, finish the bedroom, because all we really did was clear the floor in the bedroom. But we didn't get to any of the surfaces or the bed or anything like that. So finish the bedroom, finish the living room. We need to do the bathroom, which you guys don't actually get to see. I never seen it. Danielle's seen it.
She has a hall and like a wee utility cupboard, and that's it. So really, next time we
finish the house.
Yeah.
I really want to go back into the kitchen and do the fridge and the cupboards. You cleared out some of the cupboards.
I cleared it. There's only one cupboard. See that one on the left at the bottom there? That's the only one I never cleared out.
But you didn't fully, you got rid of expired food. I got rid of expired
stuff, but I never removed everything and wiped it all down.
So I don't think it'll take that long to do in the kitchen.
No, the inside cupboards didn't even look that bad.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't really
apart from the
remove
spiders.
Everything.
Just the spiders.
Yeah, that's why I never done that end cupboard.
Was that where the spider was?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I went, nope.
Not today. But as usual, you clean from top to bottom. Although you didn't actually do it in that order.
No, I just kind of picked whatever tickled my fancy.
Was it easier once I left for you to bounce around, or were
No, it was quiet and I was lonely, and I kept saying to myself right, okay, take a wee break, and then I was like, no, don't, because if you take a break, you're going to just spend 20 minutes puffing on your vape, not doing anything, because Steph's not here to motivate you.
But that would have been fine, because I felt so guilty that I left you to do it.
I just kept cracking on.
Yeah.
But I was like, right, okay, do this bit, and then I'd look around and I'd be like, okay, I've got more to do here. Do you know when you're like, yes, we're about finished?
See, when I was younger, I would, it was mostly when I would come to Scotland and stay with my dad or my stepmom, if they, they were drug users, okay, so if they went for a nap or they went out and left me there, I would set myself challenges, okay, let's do, and it was always housework challenges, because the environment wasn't the best, and so if they had gone, I'd be like, okay, I can get this done in the time that they've gone. So see if our roles had been reversed on this day and you had been the one that had to go away and I'd been there, I would have been like, right, let's see if I can do this before Danielle gets back, and let's see if I can do this before Danielle gets back. And I feel like it would have been you
would have the kitchen and the bedroom done by the time I go back.
Just because I'd be like, yes, let's do this. Yeah. So that's how I would have reacted in that situation. But you did get so much done, because I wasn't expecting you to be finished the kitchen when I got back. I don't know why. It's not even that big of a kitchen, and you'd already powered through quite a lot before I left. I was so gutted you did this door, by the way. I really wanted to do this door, and then I turned around and you were halfway through doing it. I was like,
Oh, sorry. We should maybe just like state these things at the start. Like,
Yeah.
I want to do this. Or
I don't
want to
think
do that.
I don't think I had consciously realised how much I wanted to do it until
you
I
seen me
turned
do
around
it.
and seen that you were already doing it, and I was thinking, because I remember getting the before photo of the door,
You
and
can't actually see it in the video, but it was such
so
a big
dirty.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it in the after photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did get the before photo of the around the handle on the other side of the door. But you don't even see you cleaning that side. And I was like, you're not on camera. And you were like, they got the other side.
Yeah.
She was so defensive.
Sometimes I get really annoyed with having to move the camera so much. Like, I just want to clean sometimes and not have to worry about, okay, I need to catch this angle and I need to move it here. I know, like, that's the whole point in filming it, right? But
no, to be fair, I do that
sometimes
quite
I
a
just
lot.
want to clean.
Mm-hmm. And often it's like when we're on a time crunch, we're like, okay, we can get more done if we're not worrying about moving the camera. So you just don't always see all of it. So you use power paste on this stove. How do you think that compared to like what we usually do?
So to be honest, it wasn't even that dirty. It just needed a wee scrub, but then the rest of what was there, I needed to use the scraper for. It wasn't going to come up with a Brillo pad. It wasn't going to come up with anything else. I needed the scraper because it doesn't even look like it's dirty. It just looks like it's marked, but it's not. It's actually, you'll see, it's actually just built up. What's the word? Built up
Grime.
Yeah, built up whatever that comes away when I peel it.
So I originally thought it was scorch marks. Do you know how that sometimes happens on these kind of stoves, like when it's a circle around, like the actual like burn marks? But so I was quite impressed when I seen you managing to get some up with the scraper.
But the plastic one wasn't working so well, but the metal one. But yeah, it wasn't even that dirty. This stovetop, cookertop.
I mean, I don't think the kitchen in general was that bad. Like, I don't know if we're just getting desensitized because we have done some quite extreme cleans, or if it was just a case of, you know, it was mostly clutter and rubbish.
I think we're maybe getting desensitized.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think. Do you know, actually, that would be quite a fun thing to do is, you know, like, rate this house. But I don't know if that would hurt people's feelings, maybe. It probably would, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And it probably
Let's not do that.
Invite a lot of negativity into the space.
I was thinking more like on a scale of 1 to 10, how, like, in terms of extreme of a clean. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not a good idea, is it? No. Don't do that, guys.
We'll rate it for you.
No, because then we're the bad ones.
No, we only need to say like 1 to 10, and I would put this at a 4.
Okay. I'm actually really bad with ratings. Do you know how hard it is for me to prioritise the 1 to 5 rating system that we have?
You're
in fact,
really you're really terrible. Yeah, you're really terrible at looking at a photo as well and being like, oh, you always think it's better than it is.
I just think it's a very abstract measurement, like a rating scale. It's called a Likert scale. Just FYI, fun fact.
Likert.
I don't know if I say it correctly. Likert. It's a Likert rating scale.
Likert.
I don't know how to say it. But anyway, that's the name of them when you have to do the ratings. And yeah, I'm not very good at them. That's why you had to help me fill that form in that I needed to do. Because I'm like when you go to the doctors and it's like, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level? I'm like, my brain doesn't compute this. I can't answer that question.
Sorry guys, I need to put my windows down. I'm getting like sweatiness.
And I'm sitting here with a cardigan on, so it just shows how different we are.
It's usually not. It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
I'm usually always freezing and you're usually fine.
Do you know what it is? I'm just a very controversial person. That's the problem. I'm just controversial.
Yeah, you just have to be different, don't you?
Yeah. It's not even deliberate either. Okay, so we haven't said this person's story, and that's because we don't really know it. We know a couple of things. You want to talk about the couple of things?
So she is, would you class her as elderly? Or
no,
just older?
She's in her early 50s.
So older.
Older than us, but not old.
She's got a lot of disabilities.
Which we don't actually know the details of. We just know she we see mobility aids and medications around the house, and in the original referral to us by herself as well. It was a self-referral.
You said to like me to be like, on you go. You're the one that just read the email.
I know, that's why I'm kind of jumping in.
I'm like, I have no idea. I didn't read it.
I read it out to you.
Yeah, I was never going to remember that.
Okay, so yeah, early 50s, has physical disabilities. She said that she has low mental health, and that she was really embarrassed, but her friend had given her our contact details, and so she was reaching out to ask if we could help. And I think that was a few months ago. And then we asked for our usual, details that we need, and then she didn't get back to us for a while. And then when she did get back, she was like, "I'm so sorry. I hope it's not too late. Like, will you still see me?"
Yeah.
Sorry guys, background noise.
Just have to deal with it from a cooling pleasure.
Yeah. So yeah, and then that's kind of all we know.
But she really appreciated.
Oh yeah, she gave us a hug.
Which I'm not fussed about.
I'm
Steph's
not a
more of
hugger.
a not hugger, don't touch me kind of person. Whereas I'm just like, yeah, bring it in.
Yeah, I'm a don't touch me, I'm not a hugger kind of person, but also I can't say that to people because I'm too scared of hurting their feelings kind of person. So it's just not.
She
good
went
all
to
round.
hug me first, and as she was hugging me, I was like, Steph's gonna hate this.
It's so mean. And I did, and I was trying to think of a polite way to not accept it, but there's just no polite way. And I can't even say, oh, I'm a germaphobe, because I'm literally cleaning really dirty houses.
Yeah.
So like I just don't like it. I just don't like people touching me. I'm not even that affectionate with my family,
Or
which
her
is
friends.
sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. When I came back from that holiday, Danielle was like, "Stand up." I was like, "Oh my god, what's going on? Why?" And then she hugged me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you definitely missed me, because that's not a thing we do."
Yeah. We hugged yesterday.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That was a bad day for everybody. Oh yeah, we should tell them about our bad day. You can start.
Oh, my day wasn't as bad as yours, so you start. I'll follow. In
I
fact,
actually
no, wait,
might
I'm not
cry
following
again.
you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to just tell them everything?
Yeah, that would be good actually.
Right, okay. So, I mean, I ain't going to go too much into mine. You know I'm reserved. But, like, the end part before I got to Steph's and I felt better, like, my children were just driving me crazy. And they're fighting all the time, and Olivia's crying all the time. And I went round the shops thinking, I need milk and nappies. And then I went and bought more stuff to go to Steph's house with. And it was just a really bad idea.
She forgot the milk. FYI.
Yeah, I forgot the milk and a few other bits and bobs. And even though it was like stuff I was looking at, and this is why I don't go shopping at the weekend. The shop was heaving, like so busy, and they had every single checkout till open, which is really unheard of when I go shopping. Normally there's like one or two. So I was feeling very overwhelmed and stressed out. Steph's day was. I don't think I ever really see Steph emotional.
I had a full-on anxiety attack though. Like, so before I get into the whys, my day started off so badly because I had spent the day before doing housework.
Sorry guys, putting the windows up, it's starting to rain.
I had spent the day before doing housework, including spending an hour cleaning out Lily's den, which had gotten really bad. And then my daughter had a sleepover with her friend, and they were allowed to sleep in the living room. And I came down in the morning. There'd been bacon brownies the day before, and all the stuff was all over the counters, bunkers, whatever. We'd had Domino's pizza, and their plates and pizza leftovers were all over the table. But the worst part was they'd emptied out the den and made a bed in there. And I just woke up mad. I was just raging at everybody in my house. Like, I was just so annoyed because it's been hard for me to keep on top of my house lately, and I'm losing the battle. And then when I do manage to get stuff done and I come down and it was like that, and I was just like, this is not a good way to start my day. And then the day just got worse from there. And at one point I was down the town and I was dealing with a situation and just started having an anxiety attack and turned up at Danielle's door with my child, just like, help me. I don't even know how you can help me, but I need you to help me.
I was like,
I was actually full on crying.
And then, I seen her and I was like, okay, go through there, let's put the kettle on, let's make some tea. I got the kids something to eat, I'll shut them in the living room. I'm like, right, so tell me what's going on.
I'm curious, what did you think it was going to be? Because you've never actually seen me in that kind of state.
I honestly didn't know. I was like scared that you were going to tell me that you were ill, or like you'd found out such like terrible news, or like, yeah, my mind went dark.
Yeah, I'm usually quite good at like keeping everything inside, but sometimes it's just too much.
I just thought like something's happened to somebody, like someone's injured or someone's ill or someone's dying. Like,
it was none of those things.
No, it wasn't.
In hindsight, it's not even that bad, but it's just, yeah, you can tell them.
Do you know what? I just think it's like thing after thing after thing, and this is like your cherry on the top, and you just had enough. Too much.
And then like things that cause me anxiety, you know, are like confrontation and trying to like advocate for myself. I can't do either of those things.
So you can do it for other people.
Yeah, but for myself, it's like it really like makes me feel physically ill, and then especially if it doesn't go well, and then it just
So Steph got a bathroom fitted from a company on Facebook. Rookie mistake.
They were a reputable company. Like, they had a lot of 5-star reviews.
And she spent thousands of pounds on this bathroom.
This was early last year.
Yeah, I was about to say, this was March last year.
Yep.
And the silicone was needing replaced. So that was getting done yesterday. And it revealed that there must have been... It's not been fitted correctly. The wet wall has not been installed correctly, which has added to moisture or a leak behind the wet wall, which has really affected the silicone. It was like all spongy and squidgy, and
the actual wet wall itself is spongy, which it shouldn't be.
And there was just a lot of moisture, and it's just not... It's not great. It probably all needs ripped out. There's probably loads of mould behind it. So she contacted the company. And as soon as they realised that the warranty, I don't know if it was a year warranty, had run out, they just kept saying it's because you removed the silicone. Which it's not, because it was only got done yesterday. Since the silicone's been removed, the shower or the bath hasn't been used. It's got nothing to do with that. And then they blocked her.
Yeah, and they were accepting fault up until they realised that the guarantee has ran out. But under, Scottish law, like consumer rights, you've got 6 years if, I can't remember the wording exactly, but basically if you're getting something installed, for example, the materials used have to be fit for purpose, the workmanship has to be good, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm well within my rights to have them fix it, because either it's not been installed properly, or the actual wet wall itself is not waterproof, or there is a leak. And if there's a leak, then that's a slow leak that's been there since they fitted it. And the thing is, I already had them out in September because my floor was squelching and water was coming through my ceiling. And so the fitter came back out and tightened something to do with the pipes around the toilet and says, oh, that wasn't tightened properly during installation. I was like, you installed it. You have left it. I was like, what about long-term damage to my floors and ceiling? And they were like, just let it dry out and it'll be fine. So it's not the first instance of me having to call them back out again. And so now I don't have a usable bath or shower, and it's just...
And it's, yes.
And I don't know what to do. The company have blocked me. We don't have any money to fix it or replace it. Not sure if we're covered under our house insurance, but it's also the weekend, so we can't even, figure that out. We've not been able.
Good.
Yeah, it's just
very stressful.
Mm-hmm. And then the whole time that I was trying to have this conversation over Messenger with the company, I was in the town, and it was the same situation as you. My daughter was with me. She was asking for this and that, and trying to talk to me, and I'm trying to write these messages, and it was busy, and it was just a whole thing, and I just started crying.
We actually found the company on Safari, internet browser, and we realised that they actually don't have great reviews through the internet browser.
Yeah, so
a lot of them have similar issues, or just basically they're not a great company to...
The thing is, when they installed it, it all looked great, and I left them a good review. And in hindsight, I'm thinking, I wonder if when people are getting the bathrooms installed, they're leaving good reviews. And then it's not until later that they're realising all the problems, and then they're getting blocked. So I can't even go on and review this person now.
Or even if someone does write a bad review or a bad comment on the Facebook page, they're able to delete that. They can't delete it off the internet.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
Just also on a positive note, while we're talking about reviews, thank you to everybody who went on and reviewed our Facebook page. That really helped with our review status as well.
Mm-hmm.
But so that all happened yesterday, and I'm still not sure on how, what we're gonna do, but I'm a lot calmer now. I was so emotional about it.
I said to Steph, I was like, we'll set up a GoFundMe. You have more than enough people that love you, that love what we're doing. that would help you out. Like, I don't know, I've never seen Steph quite as emotional as that. And I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I cuddle her? And I was just like, make tea, make sure the kids are all right, get her to calm down.
We aren't doing that though, by the way, just...
No.
Yeah, that wasn't what... But yeah, so, I mean, I did calm down considerably by the time I'd finished the tea and just told you about it. It's really hard for me, when I'm upset, it's hard for me to speak. Like, even when I get like angry as well, I cry.
Yeah.
Like, and then I can't get out. Like, I'm just really...
And I think it was upset and angry. Both of those were
Yeah.
a mix of emotions you were feeling yesterday.
Yeah. So then, I mean, the plan was already for Danielle to come and hang out yesterday. And so then when she did then come to my house afterwards, we were going to do the voiceover. And I still was just, I think I was just emotionally drained. And I was like, I'm not in a headspace. And also I had a headache. I think it was from the crying. I still have a headache now, but I've taken paracetamol today.
I was thinking it could be from the air pressure.
Oh yeah, because of how bad the weather's been. Anyway, this is us kind of moving on to the bedroom now. Danielle's taken a quick break while I started the bedroom, and I managed to get this like tiny bit of space. When we came into the house, and the two priority areas were the kitchen and the bedroom, and so I was talking to her, and there's a couple of bits of furniture and things in the room that are to go. So there's a unit that she wanted moved to the living room so she can take photos to sell. And then all the books are to go to, I want to say her daughter.
Yeah, daughter.
Okay, so all the books are going to her daughter, who's then going to choose what one she wants and give the rest to charity. And then there was magazines that she said we could get rid of, but we never actually got to that part.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise was I had seen this side of the room. I hadn't really looked on the other side of the bed at this point. That was kind of the worst part of the room. But so I'm not wearing a mask to start with. And then, oh my God, see how I was just hoovering there? It has not happened yet, but... Oh no, wait, has it happened?
No, because you've not got your mask on.
All right, yeah. It's not happened yet then. I cleaned this section and then I hoover again. And I must hoover up cat poo, like dried cat poo. And it burns in the hoover. And the smell.
What?
Oh my God, the smell. I couldn't cope. I had to run outside before I was going to be sick.
Why did the cat poo burn in the hoover? Did it get
don't
stuck
know.
somewhere?
I'm
Is it
just-
something to
I
do
don't
with the
even-
motor? Is it broke the hoover?
No, the hoover's still working and the smell
Okay.
abated. Well, actually, maybe it didn't. I was wearing a mask at that point.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, I was struggling a little bit with the cat, like, hair and everything, but I just wasn't ready to put the mask on. But after that happened, I was like, I can't continue without a mask. I think as well because when you're using the hoover, it blows air out the back of it. And so then it's kicking up everything. But yeah, I don't know what it was, but the smell was, it was horrendous when I did this. It was this bit here. I think you maybe see me running out the room in a
Yeah,
minute.
because you can see, was that all cat poo that was on the floor?
It's cat hair.
Oh, right.
That was mostly cat hair, but it's clumps of it. Yeah, that was me running out the room there. But I come back and I've got a mask on now. And I continue. There was a lot of shoes. The plan was when we moved the unit, the desk with the chair into the living room, we were to put she's got like a shoe rack in the hall that we would move into the bedroom with the shoes. But because we never finished the room and she has a lot of belongings that I just kind of categorise and put into bags and boxes, there isn't anywhere for them to go, so they kind of go in the space that the shoe rack will eventually be going in. And that black box is filled with medications.
All right.
So yeah, I'm not sure if they're accessible previously or if they need all thrown out or anything like that. Who knows? But I just opened it, see it's medication, and closed the lid again. I also found £10. I left it on a pillow for her. I wonder if she thinks we just gave her £10. I forgot to tell her, like, this is your money that I found. I just left it on the pillow, like, yep, here you go, a wee treat. So I was telling Danielle earlier that obviously sometimes I have crazy dreams, and
Sometimes.
okay, most days I have crazy dreams, and this house triggered a dream where it was a dream that played on a loop, and I'm not sure 100% what happened. I can't really remember now, but basically we went back into this house, except it was different to this house, but it was this house, and I knew it was this person and it was this house, but it was different. But we weren't supposed to be there. It was like we had a copy of the key and we were sneaking in to finish the job. But then we were trying not to get caught. And so I think something bad happened in the house. And we were like, we're liable. Like, we can't get caught for this. And so we're running out to our van, which, by the way, we don't have a van. Like, none of this is true. This is just what happened in the dream. And so, but we fail. And the dream just keeps playing on a loop until we get it right. And then we are making our getaway in the van. And we're like, oh, thank God we got away with it. Nobody caught us. And then we panic. Like, what if people have Ring doorbell footage and they see that it was us going? And I was like, it's an unmarked van. And it was a weird dream.
Is there not a film that's similar? Like, they're on a loop, and until they get it right, their day reloops again.
Oh, is that not like the premise of most films that loop, though? I don't know any specific. I know Death Day. Is that what it's called? There's one where she dies and she has to try and figure out her murderer.
Where it's looped, and I'm sure it's a guy. And I'm sure it, like...
Is it Deja Vu? No,
I don't know.
That's when he goes back.
But I'm sure, like, he gets killed, and then his day starts over again. He's to try and not get killed or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to Google it. Or if you know, tell me, please.
By you, she's talking to you viewers, not me. Yeah, I don't know what the movie is. But yeah, so if I've not seen it, then that's not what inspired the dream. But yeah, so that was the weird dream, and it was inspired by this house. And I think it's just because there was so much unresolved in this house that I need to go back and finish.
But yeah, she has a gift for having the most eccentric, very long, detailed, very strange dreams.
Yeah, so I was telling her about another dream that I had last week, and I actually had a panic attack in the dream because my dream self arrived at a building and knew that my dream self had repeated dreams of this building and dying in the building through drowning. And so my dream self was having a panic attack.
It's like being conscious.
It was weird.
Like having a conscience in a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was weird. I've never had that. It's kind of like when you wake up and you go about your day and then you wake up for real and realise that none of that happened. That's the worst. That's the worst. I was so disappointed the other day when that happened to me. And Pete woke me up and I was like, oh, now I have to get ready again. It was like I just got ready.
I don't actually dream that often.
You probably do, you just don't remember it. I don't know. I like having
do you know what?
vivid dreams.
It's not. It's medication.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I used to have loads of dreams and a lot of them were bad, but no, I'm medicated now. That'll be why, guys.
I mean, at least you don't get the bad dreams now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it's all about. So as you can see, well, you can't really see. I can barely see because of the sunshine on the phone now. What happened to the rain? Anyway, as you can see, the sheets are not very clean and they're not fully covering the bed. Unfortunately, we didn't actually bring sheets with us on this day. And yeah, I was really sad that I just had to make the bed with the sheets that were already on the bed because, I mean, I wouldn't want to sleep in that and I felt bad that this lady has to sleep in it. But we can only do what we can do. Just talking of, not bringing sheets. So thank you so much to everybody that from our last video, everybody donated a lot of money and a lot of products. Yeah, it was astounding. We more than made back the money that we'd spent on that woman, and we'll definitely be going back out and doing that again.
I walked into Steph's yesterday, and usually there's a box that will sit at Steph's door that needs to go to the office because it gets delivered to Steph's house. It will sit at Steph's door, and sometimes when I walk in I get to see all these, and I was like, oh wow, and I was like, oh yes, Brillo pads, and oh dish towels and elbow grease, yeah,
we've got like 3 packs of cutlery and utensils and so many bottles of elbow grease, and you guys are just so generous, so thank you.
I love it, it's great.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like, you have
really
given so much to these houses, and it definitely helps because sometimes we get very cheeky emails from social workers. Sometimes professionals that contact us, I think they think that we're run the same way as them, with funding
and we're getting all this money to budget and
it's like, no, we don't get any of that. And what we do get, we're choosing to put back into these cleans instead of paying ourselves. So try not be too cheeky in what you're asking of us, please.
Expectations for us to cover all the financial costs for even after. Right, okay, so we covered the... I'm getting into it, right?
You've only got a couple of minutes, I think.
covered the cost for 2 removals. We went and bought all the stuff and everything. There was still more stuff needing removed. We said this to them. We said what we'd done. We were like, I don't know if you'll be able to, like, put to it. And they're like, oh, well, we'll pay half of it. And then a new social worker came. She was like, oh, well, I've taken over as your cleaning done. And obviously, I know that we'll be paying for half the rubbish removal. And we didn't even confirm that. So now Steph's going to write them a very nice, informative, professional email saying that we do not do that.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I just feel like they're taking a little bit of advantage of us, you know? They actually get the funding to pay for that and instead are relying on us to do it. So just thought that was a bit cheeky. But yeah, that was a very quick side note rant.
Yeah. You said I had a couple of minutes, so I just made sure I done it as fast as I could.
Yeah. We actually still have 5 minutes apparently. Sorry.
Oh, so...
I just realised, you know, we've been doing this a long time. I've only just realised that it tells you at the bottom how long we've got left on the video. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's because you can't really see it that well.
Yeah, I just noticed. So originally when Danielle came through to the living room, it was just to make space for that unit that needed to be moved from the bedroom. And like she said, it snowballed from there and she just kind of...
I got trapped in the rubbish removal.
Yeah. And those boxes that you just seen that are next to the table, they're boxes, I think, of books that are packed up, ready to go to a charity shop.
It's closed.
Is it closed?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
It's closed.
So yeah, so they're packed up, ready to be taken to a charity shop. And she said that her daughter was going to take them, but that she's not allowed her daughter access to the property for a long time because of the condition of it. She was embarrassed.
This table was an absolute mountain of vape boxes, empty vape liquids. Like, just anything to do with vapes was on this table, and it was all rubbish.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I was like, the vape mountain. But it took me a while because I didn't want to chuck any of the wee bottles away of vape liquids that still had some left in it. So, and a lot of them were put back in the boxes, so I had to go through all the boxes and open them up and look at the thing and decide if they're getting... Yeah, it took me a while.
I'm glad you were dealing with that because anything vape related, I'm like, is this disposable? Yeah. Is this reusable? I honestly have no idea. Whenever I come across vapes, I just put them all together.
Well, vapes aren't actually disposable. Well, you can't general waste.
Right, okay. Oh, well, that's good that I never really bin them then. So yeah, so you don't really get to, I think, the back of the table, but you do a significant amount in the time that you had. Anyway, if you've made it this far, we always forget to say this at the beginning, but if you've made it this far, please like and subscribe and comment and all that jazz. I really need to remember and say that at the beginning. But our stats are pretty good. You know, over 60% of our viewers now are subscribed, which apparently is very good because Mac over at Midwest Magic Cleaning said that the average channel, only 15 to 20% of their viewers are generally subscribed. So...
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. We're doing amazing. Anyway,
we wouldn't be able to do it without yous.
Yep, here is the before and after pictures and videos, by the way, just an FYI. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.